We got a pretty big episode coming up today for you guys. In this game, we're going to potentially play our last college regular season game, of course depending on what I do in the off season. Welcome back to the Road to 2K19 series, everybody, and this episode we're wrapping up my sophomore season. So we're going to complete the schedule, so we're going to be done with the regular season. And in the first game, we're already starting off with a bang as we play on our home court to try to get revenge on the Kansas Jayhawks, who we went 0-3 against last season. They gave us a loss in the regular season, the heartbreaking buzzer beater by Oscar Stafford. They gave us the blowout loss in the Big 12 tournament after we went out and partied a little too hard or the night before, I should say. And then they gave us a loss in the Elite 8 whenever they were the 1 seed and we were the 3 seed. We could have won that game too, but ultimately we fell short 3 times to this team. But they had a lot of their roster gutted last year. They've had a lot of graduations, no more Deshaun Lacey, and thus we have to pull out the victory in this one if we want to get revenge. This is the best time to do it. We're up early and I put on the spin move. This is no Deshaun Lacey covering me. This is Anthony Wyatt, who does not even hold a candle to the type of skill Lacey had last year, so I should be able to just take it on him every single time, as I definitely left him in the dust on that spin move. Now on this possession, I fire it up to Deshaun. Comes back to me, and Drew's sitting there wide open. He's calling for the ball, and thus that'll extend our hot start. We were up 9-2, but then look at Kansas coming back with a 7-0 run, so now it's 10-9. But we play good defense here. We're on the break. We need some momentum back on our side. Lobbing it up to my good friend Deshaun Christian. We've been connecting on lobs more frequently as late, but one of Deshaun's options to transfer, if he didn't pick us, he would have picked Kansas, and that's because of this guy right here, Ray D'Amico, making that fadeaway 3. He was the #1 recruit coming into the nation this year, and he'll be a tough guy to keep an eye on. But of course I come right back and I tied up at 17. And now Kansas having a 3-point lead. They try to extend it there, but it'd be no good, so I fire up the pass to Aaron Catley. Give him a little spotlight here because he has been very good in his short amount of time on the court. As you guys know, he's our 6th man, one of the best freshmen coming into the class. And I don't know why Kansas kept trying to press on me, as they had no ball handlers to keep up with me. Once again, there's no Deshaun Lacey on this team. He graduated to go off to the NBA. And look at Aaron Catley once again getting Tamir Rodriguez with the hesitation move. But unfortunately, we still find ourselves down by 6, and this definitely should have been a charge. Tamir Rodriguez knocking over me and Mitchell Drew, and I was angry after that one. I said he didn't want to call it on us. Alright, so I'll get that 2 points right back. I'll miss the first attempt, but an up and under move. Second time's the charm. Got those 2 points right back, but unfortunately our defense would be our Achilles heel in this one. Kansas just shot so well, and it seems like Kansas always plays up with us no matter who's on the roster. I get fouled there though. 9-point game, can you believe that? Despite Kansas not even having the same team as last year, a lot of their depth graduating, as I'd make one of 2, and I'd hit the bench for the half. 44-36. We've allowed 60% shooting from the field for the Jayhawks, 0 turnovers forced on them as well. And that's just a recipe for disaster. That's why they got 44 points on us in the first half of play. I'm doing pretty well so far. I got to improve the shooting a little bit on both field goal and free throw. But I got to get Mitchell Drew involved. Ever since he's been suspended at that Oklahoma game for breaking curfew, he just hasn't been the same player. But look at this pull-up 3 right in the face of Tamir Rodriguez. It's going to be plays like that get us back in the game. Bang! As my 3-point shooting hasn't been as effective last year, I should say. But plays like that can definitely switch the momentum of the game. And how about this? We'll switch cameras for this pass right here. Fire that into Deshaun. He gets fouled. Behind the back, no-look pass. That, of course, is a big asset of my game. And once again, momentum. My teammates loving it. It's going to be a big part of getting us back in the game, as the lead would remain at 8 now. So it's staying in that 8 to 10 point range. I step back though, and I bang this one from 15 feet. My offensive game is doing really well so far, as I'm increasing my shooting percentage as well from the first half. I can tell Deshaun's hungry for an isolation on Ben D'Amico, gets him up with the pump, finishing over Rodriguez. That is never an easy feat. And he's got 12 points on Ray D'Amico, the former #1 overall recruit. And there's a stop on Tamir Rodriguez. We're off to the break. Another tough finish, but I still get it to go. 17 points here. 7 quick points in the first half for me. Now it's a 7-point game, and that's going to be a steal for Deshaun Christian. I can do it on the right. Can I pull it up on the left? Yes, I can. That is the first time in my college career that I've made more than 1 3 in a ball game. I know that's kind of crazy, but I've got 20 points now. It's a 4-point game, and look at Julius Parker, jab step, jump shot good from way beyond the arc. That's their power forward doing that. Kansas is just so versatile on offense. Even losing some of their depth, they still are a scary team. And this comes with me off the court. Mitchell Drew makes the layup, and thus Kansas would eventually call a timeout after that play. So I'll check back in. 4:43 left to go. 5-point game. And it's going to be Mitchell Drew, Kate Lee, Deshaun, me, and Isaac Ashley, the 5 that we're running right now. Pick and roll to Deshaun Christian, who finishes over the defense. Deshaun's been ice cold and looking for another basket ever since that isolation score on Ray D'Amico. And thus, it'll be a 5-point game. Kate Lee, no good on that 3. He normally makes good on those opportunities. So that's a backbreaker right there. But up the court, Opachik beating Isaac Ashley as the lead goes back to 7 with 2:45 left to play. We might try another pick and roll here, as that's been very effective here in the clutch. My defender reaches, giving me a lane, and I'm fouled by Tamir Rodriguez. I've been a little shaky from the line today, only 2 of 4 coming in this attempt. But I make 2 of 2, so I improved to 4-6 on the game. You see the 5 that we're going with, we get our starters back in the game. And the lead would go back to 5. Raheem Braun from the baseline, no good. That's 5 rebounds for me on the game. I'm having a really solid all-around ball game in this one. Reversal goes to Mitchell Drew, who bangs that. We're trying not to fall 0-4 for my career against the Jayhawks, but they're definitely giving us a challenge on our home court. 73-71. They try a screen and roll. They try to emulate our offense. Anthony White inside to Rodriguez. Outside, you cannot leave Ray D'Amico open like that. That's 13 points for him on 60% shooting. Now it's a 4-point cushion. Running our offense. Coming off the screen, Deshaun is not open. So let's try it again. He gives it out to me. Ball reversal once again to Mitchell Drew, but he had basically his big toe on the 3-point line, so that'll only be a 2-pointer. 1:15 left in the ball game. Ball reversal. Opachik is wide open, but it's off the front rim, but we allow the second chance, as Tamir Rodriguez, only shooting 59% from the free throw line this season, makes the first one. It's always an adventure whenever Rodriguez comes to the line, but he does make 2 of 2. It's a 4-point game now. 65 seconds left in the ball game. As I get my matchup in the air, I try another pull-up 3. No, this one's off the back rim. Not as lucky as I was on my other attempts. And now Kansas running quickly. D'Amico finishes the inside score over top of me. I'm just too small to cover a guy like him. He's about 6'7", 6'8". I'm 5'11" on a good day. Now a 6-point game, deadly crossover. I float that one in there. 24 points to my name. But now we got to start fouling. And I would have 4 personal fouls by the time they got to the line. Here is Opachik, who's good from the outside today, but he misses. But Ray D'Amico goes over the top of Moses Anaganye. And of course I had to come down and foul him, so that'd be my 5th foul. He would make 2. Kansas would make their free throws at the end of this matchup. Kately making a 3, but it would just be too little too late. Ending in a 5-point loss. I fall to 0-4 personally against these Kansas Jayhawks. A very, very disappointing game. Just in the fact that we could not beat them. I had played great, 24 points, almost setting a career high benchmark, but unfortunately it would not translate into a win. 24 points, 6 assists, 2 steals, 5 rebounds, a great all-around game. But we fall to 16-4 in the season, and this will segue into possibly the biggest game of the season for us. Number 6 Oklahoma State comes into our building. We're number 4 in the nation, and if we want to stay in that top 5, we cannot lose this game. This game is going to have big implications on not just our regular season, but looking forward to March Madness. The Cowboys only have 1 conference loss so far this year. As you can see, we're number 4 in the nation right now, Oklahoma State number 6. That'll segue us into looking at the bracketology. Let's see what the experts have us at. We share the number 2 seed with teams like UAB, Seton Hall, Tennessee. And you can see in the Indianapolis division, they're projecting the Cowboys as a #1 overall seed, which is what we're aiming for. So potentially, if we could beat the Cowboys, we might be able to take over that #1 seed, depending on what the other 2 seeds do. So we'll see. They're up there with Duke, Memphis, and Michigan State, some pretty high quality teams. And this is also senior day for us, so graduating will be Moses Anaganye, who I've had a fun time playing here. He's stepped out his game in his senior year. He's starting to hit a lot of jump shots now, and he's been a lot of fun to play with. He's been a force on the inside. Albert Ford is also going to be graduating. His value is not really in the stat sheet per se. He does a lot of little things that coaches love, so he's definitely a very key piece that we're going to be missing next year if I was to come back. And Brad Belcher, who didn't see the court much, but he had a couple highlight plays. I remember whenever we played Duke last year versus Deshaun, he had a big poster on their Duke defense. So, in the biggest game of the season, Texas, Oklahoma State. Are you guys ready? Let's buckle up, as this was one of the greatest games in the entire series so far. And when I say buckle up, make sure you are tightly, because this one was a roller coaster ride of emotions. The Cowboys would hold the early lead, up by possession, but we'd get a stop and we'd run the break. I put a spin move on Anthony Tucker. He is active for this game, but he will not stop me getting to the basket. Leon Delaney just a little bit too slow taking that charge. Anthony Tucker is known for his defense. He is a short, stocky, 5'10", 215 point guard. You guys already know who he is. He missed the last matchup with a separated shoulder, but he's perfectly healthy this time. A give and go between Mitchell Drew as I drive the baseline. Nice look inside as Mitchell Drew gives me a chest bump after this play. Get hacked on my arm by Delaney trying to go for the block, but it would just be unsuccessful. So I head to the free throw stripe, trying to get the three-point play the hard way, and it would sink through the net. So a pretty nice way to start the game. We find ourselves down though, 10-6. And I feed it into Mitchell Drew. How about that? He was wide open, and I just found him cutting. Good vision there. Try to put the spin move on Tucker once again, driving it left this time. As I put up the up and under as well. He bites on the bump fake, and that's 7 quick points for me. Still haven't had a lead in this game though. As look at Khalil Workman. This was me off the court. Aaron Keatley just a little bit too slow, and they would go on a run with me off the court. As by the time I got back in, it'd be up to double digits. But it's plays like this that'll help me lead the comeback potentially, as I make that jump shot, 9 points, and not that many minutes of action here in the first half. 30-20, however. High pick and roll doesn't really work too well. Out to Albert Ford. The senior gets a crazy bounce. The senior scores on senior day, and hopefully shots like that will change the momentum, as it'd still be a 9-point game. They try to pressure me in the backcourt. Khalil Workman just not fast enough to keep up with me. The step back, nice dish inside to Moses Anaganye. Lead swells back to double digits, and now it'd be 40-27. So we are in danger of dropping 2 in a row. And that's definitely not how you don't want to be limping into March Madness like we are. As I take this baseline, crossing over my man, and I would make 1 of 2 from the free throw line. But at the end of the first half, we would find ourselves down by 12. As look at the starting lineup. If you subtract me from the starting lineup, just get rid of my stat line, the rest of the starters are 2 of 15 from the field, including 0 of 7 from Deshaun and 1 of 6 from Moses. So we need to get the starters some more easy baskets. Bad defense by me. I let Anthony Tucker get wide open. But I throw it up to Saunders. He gives it back to me. A little bit too aggressive on the part of Anthony Tucker. There's an open shot for Deshaun. He swishes that one through. There's 4 assists for me. And those are the kind of looks I need to get Deshaun if I want to get him involved. As he's not had too many bad games in a Texas uniform, but nobody's 100%, right? But look at the outside defense. Just letting up one to Sean Worley. Chris Harper inside, making this a 50-33 ball game. 17-point game now. As I come back, a spin move getting fancy on Anthony Tucker as I head to the line once again. I'm definitely getting fouled, but I'm just way too inconsistent from the line. But I would make the first one. There we go, a flawless trip to the charity stripe there. 15-point game. 11-26, plenty of time to play, but we need to make a comeback now. Look at the vertical by Deshaun. He's showing off for the scouts on that one. Mitchell Drew brings up the court, and I take this one baseline. Look at me hanging and finishing. 14 points, nice pass from Mitchell Drew, way to run the floor. We need quick baskets like that if we're going to get back in the game. The lead to 14, less than 10 minutes to go. Coming off the screen, had a little bit of space, and that's all I needed. But it seemed like this play from Sean Worley on the next possession changed the entire game. Boom on our defense. 6'6" jumping out of the gym, and that really changed the momentum of the game. Or so you would have thought. Moses Anaganye with an and one. I give him a chest bump. Isaac Ashley gives him a little bit of dap. Whenever things like this happen, we can't fall apart. We got to stick together as a team, and that's what we seem to do. Boom. I rip Tobias Butler at a steal. Inside to Anaganye. Back-to-back and ones. But unfortunately, the success would be short-lived. I sat on the bench for a little bit in the second half to reserve some energy, and the lead would go back to 13 and then 15 after this one. That's an ugly play right there. Coach Shock was smart. I've never seen him more livid than on that play right there. Not boxing out on the free throw. So now we're going with me, Kaylee Christian, Anaganye, and Isaac Ashley for the clutch. No Mitchell Drew to be seen. And that's not without good reason. He's been totally invisible today. Only 4 points, 2 assists. So we're going to go with Aaron Kaylee. Deshaun's having a good second half. 4 made shots and 6 attempts here in the second half for him. As I drive, I kick it out to Kaylee. He's open on the baseline. That one will rattle through. 7-point game with 3:13 left. So we're cutting into the lead a little bit, but time is very slim. Up top. Go with the pick and roll with Isaac Ashley. He rolls perfectly to the rim, finishing over Leon Delaney as he drops that one through. 7 assists. The lead's 5 with 2:50 to go. Pressuring Tucker up top. Screen across to his teammate, but I poke it from behind. Aaron Kaylee is right there to pick up the loose change, and he's got nothing but daylight in front of him. The unsung hero. 3 steals in the game for the freshman Aaron Kaylee as he throws that one down with some authority. Mitchell Drew would check in after this game, but he was not very happy about not getting minutes here. But the lead's back down to 3. We get another stop on defense. Oklahoma State's starting to cool down a bit. Crossover, inside Mitchell Drew, post hook, offhand, still good. 8 assists for the ball game. The lead is down to 1. Your Longhorns are currently on a 16-3 run right now in the last 5 minutes of this ball game. We need one more stop and a score, and we can take the lead. I see that pass coming. Picked up by Anaganye. We're running. A pull-up 3 is risky, but it goes in. Bang, bang. Only shooting 34% from 3 this season, and I still get that one to fall. It's shots like this that are going to raise my draft stock, turn some heads. But in the short term, we find ourselves leading these Cowboys with 1:20 left in the ball game in the biggest game of the year. Ball reversal to Fields. That one's off the right iron. But look at Harper. Big inside, but a good defensive stop by Anaganye. He might have gotten a piece on that. I see Deshaun cutting once again. Another oop to the man, Deshaun Christian, as he has revived his performance here in the second half. Now we're sitting on the ball. Can I have an isolation to end this? Crossover, step back, fade away. I'm not normally an iso ball player, but it seems like everything's going through in these last couple minutes to conclude this game. But they would not be over by any means. Sean Worley making this a 3-point game as I get a step on Tucker, but he will eventually foul me. So we just need one free throw to end this ball game. 3 dribbles, I pause. Here we go. The front end of the 1-and-1 is good. I wouldn't make the second one, but it wouldn't matter. One of the all-time shockers, one of the best comebacks in college basketball history. You guys just saw history unfold in front of your eyes. 22 points, 9 assists, 2 steals. Man, what a game. We finished this game on a 23-4 run in the last 5 minutes and 31 seconds of ball game. Man, I hope all your heart rates have come back down after that one, because now we got 2 more games to finish. As that senior day was unbelievable. That comeback against the Cowboys. What a way to send off guys like Anaganye, Brad Belcher, Albert Ford, and potentially me if I decide to go pro after this season. As you can see, we're slotted still at number two seed, but we knocked down Oklahoma State from the number 1 seed to number 2. Seton Hall takes their place at number 1. As now we're facing the 15-win, 11-loss Texas Tech Red Raiders, who have won their last 4 games, so they're a hot team. And to be honest, we're pretty exhausted from that marathon game versus Oklahoma State that we put so much energy in just to get back in that game. You see, I got fouled. The first points of this game would be free throws by myself, and I'm going to show you, this is the only highlight I'm going to show you in the first half. Boom, a pass between the legs to Anaganye, who would miss, unfortunately. But other than that, it was a great first half. I'm going to skip right to the halftime show because through the course of the first 15 minutes of the game into the half, we really were in control. So it's not really, I'm just going to skip to this first half, or the end of it, because that's when it starts to get good here in the second half. 37-26 ball game. I got 12 points, 5 assists to my name coming into the halftime. 2 steals as well. We're playing well as a team. Everyone's shooting well. And yeah, I mean, the past couple games against Kansas and Oklahoma State, we got off to bad starts, so we do a good job getting out to a good run as it continues. Deshaun doing some good work in the post there, little post hook. Deshaun goes in and out, gets plenty of space off the V-cut. Bang! From downtown. 14-point game now against these Texas Tech Red Raiders. Good contest by myself. Good rebound by Saunders, who already has 9 in the game. As Mario Sims is just a little too slow closing out. Look at me plant my foot in the ground and explode to the rim. NBA scouts love to see plays like that, don't they? That's an NBA level type play right there. Now we're running the break once again. Crossover. Sims stops me, but look at the risky pass, leading Anaganye perfectly to a spot where he can get a shot off. Another nice NBA level type play. Now we're about 5 minutes left in the game. I'd have a couple minutes on the bench, and this is whenever Texas Tech finally got a little run going. Kately just a little too slow off the closeout. Mario Sims is doing a good job distributing this game, and now it's a 6-point game as I check back in. And honestly, our offense went really cold in the last couple minutes of this game. And here comes Mario Sims. Kately just too slow closing out. And once again, no Mitchell Drew to be found here. Mitchell Drew becoming increasingly impatient, not being able to play in the clutch situations. And we've seen in the past Mitchell Drew become impulsive and go out and party too much. So I really hope something like that doesn't happen in this case too, because Shaka Smart is not playing him in the clutch. He's going with Aaron Kately instead. High pick roll. Isaac Ashley leading me to the basket almost, and then 1 off of the floater. Mario Sims hit me up in the air. So I'll get 2 clutch free throws here. The Tech fans being very rowdy here while I'm at the line, but I'll still knock through the first one. But I need another one to make it a 2-possession game. So I do my signature 3 dribbles, a little spin with the ball, and 2 of 2 would be the result at the line that time. But Mario Sims would score, making it a 2-point game once again, and I get a little bit too greedy here as I try to come back fast and answer back. And this will just lead to a terrible and 1 call. I get the foul, but trust me, look at this instant replay. I try to contest the pass, and he goes up with it. And apparently the ref thought I was trying to hit him as I just jumped right past him. But I guess from the ref's angle, it just looked like I hacked him, which is unbelievable because I just jumped right past him and I gave him the and 1. And he would sink the free throw. Unreal. Still no Mitchell Drew to be found, as it's less than a minute to go as we relinquish the lead. Going to the basket, fighting through the contact. Of course there's no call on the other end though, as that should have been an and 1. So we hold a slim 1-point lead. Goes over to Heine. Inside to Hassan Rios, fading away over Isaac Ashley, giving them the lead. Now, it seemed like the referees had swallowed their whistles in the last couple minutes after that terrible call on me, which basically might have explained what they were doing on this play. 8 seconds. I'm taking against Mario Sims. Everybody clearing out. I've done a great job making game winners. I pump fake. He hits me in the face. Where's the foul? Where is the foul on that play? These Texas Tech Red Raiders getting lucky here at the end. Look at Mario Sims hitting me in the top of the head while I drop the ball. Look at this. He comes down, hits me in the face. He did poke the ball loose, but not before hitting me in the head. Unbelievable. I know these refs like to swallow their whistles at the climax of these games, but you gotta call that one. Should have been 2 free throws. I shoot about 82% from the line, so I probably would have made at least 1, probably 2 of 2. I shoot well in the clutch from the line, as you guys have seen in the past. So that would have definitely sunk their ship. So a game we get screwed out of now at Texas Tech. But we can't hang our heads for too much longer, because we got to go on the road once again against Missouri to close out our regular season. And this game holds implications for our tournament, the Big 12, after the regular season's over. You see, Baylor and us are both 10-6 if we were to lose. But Baylor would get the number 2 seed in the Big 12 tournament because they won the tiebreaker. They beat us early on in the year whenever I was injured. So this is a big game for us. If we win this game, we're the number 2 seed going into the Big 12 tournament. If we lose, we fall down to number 3. So this is a big game right here. Missouri's been pretty underwhelming this season. So at least we have that going for us, as we need to rebound, as we are limping into the final part of the season, the final stretch. We have not been playing very well, but look at this backdoor cut. Deshaun and our team chemistry is increasing as I account for the first 4 points of this game. We're going to kind of fast forward through this one, as this one wasn't very competitive. Lobbing up Deshaun, got 4 points and now an assist here early on. Another lob between me and him. Look at the defense by Moses and Aganye coming out aggressive. 2 blocks already as I get the rebound from it. Double cross on Armstrong, and I take that. Look at the vision and eyes in the back of my head finding Drew on the perimeter. And it'd be a 24-12 lead. Missouri on a bit of a run at the end of the half. But a good rebound here. Look at Albert Ford from way downtown rattling in that 3. The senior in his final regular season college game. Definitely is going to have a memory to hold on to there. What a shot, making this lead 10 at the half, 40-30. I didn't shoot well in that first half, but I'm doing other things well. Beautiful move to a finish there. Now on this play, you can see our team chemistry. Look, I jab to the right. That means Deshaun, go out right and get open. Look at that. That's code word for get open, Deshaun. Bang! We don't even have to communicate verbally for us to know what we're doing out there on the court. Just a little jab to the right. That means Deshaun, get open. Now it's a 55-41 game. Look at this pass, leading Moses perfectly to the basket. 12 assists here. Now it's a 16-point game. Looks like we got this one in the bag, but more pick and roll offense. That one pass went behind in my head. If you guys want to rewind that, that's definitely a pass for the highlight tape, definitely. Now I have Dontrell Wheeler on me, their big man. I already broke his ankles once this year, but instead he plays good defense on me, but sometimes good offense just triumphs over good defense. What a finish there, as he hit me on the arm and I still managed to finish. Isaac Ashley pumping me up, and that would be basically it after this game. 69-63 is your final score. 17 points, 13 assists. Only 4 of 10 shooting from the field, but, not terrible from the floor. Even though I didn't record a steal, I got a lot of deflections in this game, so at least I had that going for me. Now we're going to take a look at the brackets going into the Big 12 Conference Tournament here, taking place just like last year, taking place in Dallas, Texas. We didn't play Colorado on camera, but we did beat them in our only matchup, and of course we played Oklahoma without Mitchell Drew. He got suspended that game for 1 game, and we managed to beat them in OT. You see in the top of the bracket, Oklahoma State leading that side as the number 1 seed. I'm going to need some good sleep in these next 2 days, because in 48 hours we head off to Dallas, Texas to partake in the tournament. Looking at the projected brackets for the NCAAs, we're still number 2. OK State losing a couple more games to finish out the year, but time for me to get some sleep. Getting all comfy cozy in my dorm room. Time to get some good night rest. What the? Who is texting me right now? Deshaun?